Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will continue with simultaneous equation on Hodge question. So for this video, I will discuss the Hodge question focused on quadratic expression and quadratic equation. So as you know, next year your SPM exam, half of the question will be Hodge question. So you need to get used to the Hodge question from now on. So I'm trying my best to guide you how to answer Hodge question. So let's get started with the class right now. Have fun! Let's read the question carefully. Diagram below shows a rectangular Johor stage flag made by staffs of a textile company. A total of 35 meters square of cloth was used. Can you calculate the value of X? Okay, so this is a hot question because it starts with a story, okay, and then you are given the flag, okay, and the area is 35 meters square, right? So now you need to focus on the keywords. Now highlight the keywords. So as you read, you highlight the important keywords, okay? So because this topic is on quadratic expression and quadratic equation, so we need to write down the quadratic expression or quadratic equation later on, and we need to solve the quadratic equation. Or maybe you have to write in general form first, then after that you factorize. After you factorize, you let the factor equal to 0 and you solve the quadratic equation. Alright, understand? So now I will teach you how to do the Hodge question. So basically when you look at the Hodge question, you don't have to worry. They will give you the statement, they will tell you all the information, and they will give you the diagram. So now you take out your highlighter, okay, you copy the question first, then after that you highlight the important keywords. So the important keywords here of course is the rectangular, right? So you have to use a highlighter because when you have the shape, then you can calculate the area, right? You know the area for rectangular is actually length times width, right? And actually quite simple for this one. Now we look at the flag, alright, we study the length. The length of the flag is actually given x plus 1 meter and 2x meter, right? Okay, can you see that? And then the width also given x minus 1, and then for the another part is x over 2 because it comes with a different type of the cloth when you make the flag, right? So now we need to write now the information. Okay, before that we highlight. Okay, rectangular. Have you highlighted? Rectangular is the keyword. So while you read the question for Hodge question, you identify the shape, okay, the number, okay, total, okay, the operation. So they will give you the operation. Like example, they say total, it must be when you add everything, okay, plus 35 meters square. Meter square is telling you the area, okay. So when you read the question, you highlight like this. Calculate what you need to calculate. So you are asking to calculate value of x. Value of x. That means they just want one value of x, right? So later if you got two values of x, you need to choose the right one. Okay, maybe you need to substitute into the length and check. All right, and if the length you substitute the x, you get negative for the length, that means you have to reject the x value. Understand? So when you do the HOTS, you must know that you are going to solve the real situation. Okay, like in your daily life, you are going to solve the flag, the area for the flag. Okay, so you must really that imagine that you are doing the things and then you solve it in our daily life. Okay, now we will write down the length, okay, in terms of x, and also the width in terms of x. All right, have you copy everything? I purposely delay the timing so that you got time to copy the diagram and you got time to copy the question carefully. So in your next year SPM exam, the new format of the exam, as I say, 50% are HOTS question. And according to Lembaga Peperiksaan, when they set the question, they will set the BM version first, followed by English version. Okay, so you will see more like question like this with a diagram, with a statement, with a story, all this. So it looks very interesting, isn't it? HOTS question. Okay, don't worry. So we just try to enjoy the HOTS question. So we write down the length now. Length is, you see or not, I underline using the purple color. So that is length. So I'm going to write down the length, which is x plus 1. All right, plus the 2x. Okay, so why we need to write down like this? Because every step you do, they will try to give you marks. All right, so example, you write down the length equal to x plus 1 plus 2x. Now it tells us that you are actually knowing how to find the length, so the candidate will be awarded the marks. All right, once you write the step. So the step is very important. Okay, so when come to new format of exam, okay, it shows that how you think. So when you know how to write, it means that you are thinking. Okay, so we have settled the length. Now we need to simplify. It become x plus 2x is 2x plus 1 is x. It should be 3x, right? So plus 1. So that is the length. Okay, we solve the length first. So you take the x plus 2x plus 1, you solve it first. And then now you solve the width. So the width is equal to x minus 1, right? That is the part that you need to plus with the x over 2. Okay, so you jot down, okay, the width. Copy it. I'm waiting for you to copy, So I know you're copying. So x minus 1 plus x over 2. All right. Okay. Okay, so now we have the length and we have the width. So the area for rectangular shape, everyone should know, right? Area for rectangular is length times width. Okay, you should know. Everyone should know length times width is the area for rectangle. So now I'm going to add my width first before I multiply the two. Okay, x minus 1 plus x over 2. Okay, this one got fraction. When it got fraction, students start to wonder how to do. Okay, now you have 1x. X means 1x. And you have half x. So how many x you have? You think first. So you can press the calculator. 1 plus 1 over 2. The calculator will give you the answer, right? 3 over 2. But you should know 1 plus half is 1 and a half. So it's 3 over 2x. Right? Okay, 3 over 2x. And minus 1, you just copy minus 1. That means you simplify the like term. Okay? Then the number you just copy. Alright, so the blue line showing that is the width. Okay, so do you understand? Make sure you can follow my lesson. I purposely teach slowly so that everyone can understand and can do for simultaneous for quadratic equation, and also the previous value is simultaneous equation, right? Okay, so now everyone can do HOTS, I'm sure. Okay, so if you think I'm too slow, it's okay, then you just be patient. All right, so the total area is given 35 meters square, right? So we are going to use the information from the question, 35 meters square. So you write down the area, copy, highlight. This is the most important information. So we are going to copy down 35. Be careful with the unit, okay? So you must make sure the length and the width all in meter. All right, unit must be uniform, okay? Every terms you use, the unit must be the same. Okay, now I'm going to solve the area of the rectangular shape. So area is equal to, I haven't simplified my width yet. So can you please help me to simplify? Okay, it's 3x plus 1 times with the width. Okay, so you will take 3x plus 1 times with the width, which is 3 over 2x minus 1, right? Just now I told you. Okay, now I want to simplify for you. If you don't know how to simplify, please observe. I knew that some students go and times 2. You are not allowed to times 2, okay? You are not allowed to times 2. Because, why you are not allowed to times 2? It's because this is expression, alright? So you cannot times 2, just make it integer, cannot. So you have to write 3 over 2x minus 1 must be there. So now, okay, I try to do slowly with you so that you understand. You take 1x plus half x is 3 over 2x, and then the minus 1 still there. Okay, can follow? Alright, okay, so I think everyone can follow. Now you take the area times with the 3 over 2x minus 1, and then you try to do on your own first before you refer to my teaching. I'm sure you know how to do it, right? You need to expand. So I will write the width, which is 3 over 2x minus 1. Alright, so when you write the quadratic expression, you need to be very careful and write your handwriting neatly and nicely so that you won't have careless mistake. Okay, understand? So I'm sure you know how to do, right? So now we have the width, which is 302x minus 1. Now next step is we have to expand. So we will multiply. Okay, so we'll take 3x times 3 over 2x. Okay, understand? You try on your own first before we discuss here. Alright, if you really cannot do, then you refer to my video. So I'm going to show you how I cross multiply, because I knew that many students are still very weak in expansion. If you are good, then you can proceed and do on your own. If you are very weak, can you please follow my video teaching from now on, so that next year you won't have problem in mathematics. Okay, now I'll show you the way to do. This is 3 times 3 over 2. X times x will be x squared. Right, so you can press your calculator. 3 times 3 over 2, you get 9 over 2. Then x times x, you write x squared. Okay? Clear? Alright, so everyone should know how to do, right? This one. And then you have 3x times the negative 1. I'm going to draw the arrow so that we won't miss out any of the term. So we will take 3x times with the negative 1. Okay, draw the arrow so that you won't make mistake. And then you will have to expand 4 times. Okay, 4 times. So that means you should draw 4 arrow. Okay, you should have 4 arrow. Alright, Clear? So I draw another arrow using the green color line. Can you see that? Okay, that is 3x times with the negative 1. So I get negative 3x. And then I will draw another one, which is 1 times 3 over 2x. You will get plus 3 over 2x, right? And then, okay, you write down carefully 3 over 2x. And then 1 times negative 1 is negative 1, right? So you have to write down negative 1. Okay, can follow? Right, no problem, huh? Okay, now we have the area of the rectangular, but we still haven't simplified. So we must simplify first. So let's have a look of the area is 35 meters square. We will substitute, and then after that you need to simplify, alright, so that you will get the value of x. Okay, again I highlight to you, we will substitute 35, okay, into the area, and then after that you need to simplify to the general form for the quadratic equation. Okay, so if you are good, you can proceed first. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to simplify for the quadratic equation. Now you see you have a like term, negative 3x plus 3 over 2x, right? So you can use a calculator. You just plug in negative 3 plus 3 over 2 and you will get that number. So the number that you get, you can just write down is negative what? Okay, you try and press. So 9 over 2 x squared. Okay, then this one, if you want to make the denominator the same, also can. It will be negative 6x over 2. So negative 6x over 2 plus the 3x over 2 minus 1. You can do like that, no problem. Okay, but some students, they would like to use the calculator, right? They just write negative 3 plus 3 over 2 and they will get the answer. Also can, no problem, up to you. So I'm doing the slowest way to make sure everyone can do well in maths. Okay, this video is meant for students who want me to teach very slow. Okay, so I hope that after I teach very slow, you can do well in your maths next year. Alright, so now I have to simplify further. 35 equal to 9 over 2x squared minus 6x plus 3 over 2x minus 1, right? So now we will try to simplify to the general form. So normally we would like to have a x squared right now first and make it positive. So 9 over 2x squared. So we bring the 35 to the right hand side, okay? So now if you simplify, you will get negative 3 over 2x, right? You have minus 1, right? And minus 35, right? So you should have minus 36, right? So minus 1 later when you simplify. Okay, now we have 35. Okay, so now we will bring 35 to the right hand side. That means we want a general form. A general form is a quadratic equation whereby all the terms go to one side. Okay, with the number in front of the x squared must be positive. I always say we want to stay positive, meaning that the coefficient, you know what is coefficient? Don't know, right? Coefficient means a number times with the x squared. That is called coefficient. Coefficient of the x squared is 9 over 2, is positive. So now I want to make it integer, so I will times 2. That is how you make the equation easy. So when you times 2, make sure you times 2 for the 35 also. Okay, make sure everyone also, every side, okay, times 2. So you have 70 equal to 9 over 2, you times 2, you get 9x squared, right? It looks very nice, integer. And negative 3 over 2, you times 2, you get negative 3x, right? And then you minus 2, right? Okay, now you should know how to do it. You bring the 70 to the right, isn't it? So it becomes 9x squared minus 3x minus 2 and minus 70. So it becomes negative 7, 2, right? Okay, now I just want to highlight to you, before you press your calculator, I know many of you like to press a calculator, right? Before you press a calculator, you must simplify the quadratic equation first. Okay, make sure you simplify to the simplest form before you factorize using your calculator. So we have 9, we have 3, we have the 72. So it seems like it's multiple of 3, right? So you can divide by 3 for every term. So every term you must divide by 3 before you press your calculator for factorization. Okay? Understand? So for this question, I will go very slow. And then for the next question, I'll go fast a bit so that you won't feel so bored, right? So okay, now let's simplify the quadratic equation, and later on we will factorize using calculator. Okay, so now I'm writing smaller so that I got space to factorize. Okay, alright, so now I have to divide by 3. I'm showing you all the steps in detail so that you can follow well. So then you simplify, you have how many x squared? 9 divided by 3 is 3x squared, right? Minus 3 over 3, you get minus x, right? Okay, and then minus 72 must divide by 3 also, so you get minus 24 equal to 0 divided by 3, of course 0, right? And now we will press the calculator, and the calculator will give you the answer, right? Your A is 3, your B is negative 1, C is negative 24. The calculator will give you x equal to I think calculator will give you positive 3, right? So when you plug in, you must put minus 3, and the other answer is negative, right? Negative 8 over 3. So you must make the factor become 3x plus 8. Okay, so make sure you always double check the quadratic equation, and make sure you change a sign if you use a calculator to factorize. Now let a factor equal to 0. So normally we will just take the x minus 3 equal to 0, right? And the other one, x equal to negative 8 over 3, we need to reject the answer, alright, because it is negative. That is the reason why the question say find the value of x is a singular and not the values of the x, right? So you must be very careful, because the wording actually hints you how many answer. So always read carefully when you do hot question, word by word you read, and then you highlight and you write down the important information, and you must answer according to the instruction of the question. Alright, you don't just solve the quadratic equation and write, okay, x equal to 3, x equal to negative 8 over 3. No, you cannot do like that. You must understand the question, understand the wording, and answer according to the instruction of the question. Okay, I have tried my very best to explain how to answer hot question. Okay, so it's actually quite easy if you really follow the steps. So for this question, it's just a simple question. So again, I just revise back the right step to do quadratic equation. Firstly, you have to write the quadratic equation in general form, okay, and make sure it's the simplest one before you factorize. Remember what I say, make sure it's a simpler one before you use your calculator to factorize, and make sure your A positive, right? Is better to make your A is a number in front of the x square. 9 here. Okay, you see I have to divide by 3, so I need to make it simpler form. Okay, because I notice that majority of the students, they are not aware about this step. They will press a calculator, immediately they see the quadratic equation, which is actually wrong. Okay, you'll get 0 marks for that, because when you simplify, you factorize, it's not the same with before you simplify. Alright, so you will get 3x minus 8 times the x minus 3, but the minus should be positive. Double check. I always try to focus to the number 8 and 3, 24. Then later, then I will check the sign. So I will write first, then after that I will add the plus. Yeah, that is how I do lah, because I don't like to use calculator. I will factorize the 3x and x. I get 3x squared. Then I factorize 24, 8 and 3. Then only I get the sign right. Okay, and then I let the factor equal to 0. I will have x equal to negative 8 over 3 and x equal to 3. So you need to write the proper step. Okay, factorization. Let factor equal to 0. Alright, so finally your answer is, you must choose the answer based on the question. Why you cannot give me the negative answer is because for the length, if you take x negative 8 over 3, it is not logic. We don't have negative length. How can you have negative length for the rectangle? So as a hot question, you must really know, when you find the value of x, you must apply to the length. Alright, now let's start with another question. Rahim rode his motorbike for a distance of 30 kilometers from his house to the General Hospital of Moa. Okay, is story again, 30 kilometers, highlight. Okay, the distance is 30 kilometers. If he increase the sparing error, his average speed 10 kilometers per hour, the time he takes to complete his journey will reduce to 30 minutes. Calculate the initial average speed. Okay, for this question, when you do, you see you are having two scenarios. Alright, so we always want the two scenarios so that we can get two equations. So beginning, okay, he is driving with a certain speed. Let's say the original speed is v. Okay, v is the original speed, and then based on the original speed, you know your velocity or speed is equal to distance over time, isn't it? Right. Okay, so this is a formula that you learn, speed over time. Okay, now distance you know already, right? 30. Okay, later we will substitute all the information using this formula. So basically when you see speed, distance and time, you write down this formula first. So distance is speed times the time. Okay, so beginning, the original speed, let's say, is v, and the time is t, and after increase by 10, increase, when you see increase, you convert to 10. Okay, the time reduce. Okay, when you see reduce, you must use minus. Okay, so the increase is positive, reduce is minus. So the time, just now the original time is t, and it's in hours, so 30 minutes you need to convert to 0.5 hours, very important. So it's t minus 0.5. Okay, so you cannot write t minus 30 because everything's in hours. Alright, so now the d just now was vt, so we can just substitute vt, substitute 1 into 2, and we just expand the number 2. So v times t, vt minus 0.5v, and then plus 10t, and then 10 times negative 0.5 is minus 5. Okay, so you notice that actually the vt can be cancelled out, right? Alright, so and actually the v, you should know how to express the v in terms of the t, because you are given distance, right? So now we will try to simplify to the simplest form. Okay, so let's see how to simplify further. Okay, let's cancel out the Vt and Vt. So left only negative 0.5 V plus the 10t minus 5 equal to 0. Alright. Okay, but then we also knew that the speed is 30 over t, right? So we'll substitute negative 0.5, 30 over t plus 10t minus 5 equal to 0. We try to simplify further, and then you have negative 15 times t every terms plus 10t squared minus 5t equal to 0. And we need to rearrange to get general form. 10t squared minus 5t minus 15 equal to 0, right? Okay, now again I say you need to simplify to the simplest form. So you divide by 5, it becomes 2t squared minus t minus 3 equal to 0. And then you factorize, and now you can press your calculator for the quadratic equation. So you have a is 2, b is negative 1, c is negative 3. So you will get 2t minus 3 and t minus 1 equal to 0 after you factorize. Then the t is, so you have to make the sign correct. So the t is 3 over 2, and then another one t is negative 1. So you need to reject the t which is not logic negative value. So finally the time is 1.5 hour. So but you're asking to find the velocity, right? You're not asking to find the time. So it's 30 over 1.5 hour. So the speed is actually distance over the time. So it's 20 kilometer per hour. Alright, so this is the answer for the speed, or the initial speed, or we call as velocity. Okay, initial speed. Okay, so this is the answer for the speed for the question number 220, right? Now let's discuss this question. Is a bit challenging. A and B, when work together, complete the flooring of a room in 6 days. 2%, the work done in 6 days. When A work alone, he completes the task in 5 days, less than when B works alone. Okay, he completes the task in 5 days less. Okay, the keywords is 5 days less. Then when B work alone, how long will A and B alone take to complete the task? Wow, this is a bit challenging, right? So how to do question like this? Now basically this is about the work, okay, and the number of days. Okay, so if 2 person, the time is 6 days. If A alone, okay, compared with the B, the timing for the A is t minus 5. Okay, let's say the B is t. Alright, so we just use W as the unknown for the work, or actually some sort like a quantity, okay, over the quantity of the work over the time. So for A is t minus 5, for B is work quantity of the work over the t, and then if both of them work together will be W over 6. Okay, so we will actually equate them. W over 6, it should be equal to W over t minus 5 plus W over t, and then you need to simplify, make the denominator the same. Okay, so that means you times t for A up and down, and times t minus 5 for B up and down. You understand? Make the denominator the same. Okay, now I show you. This one times t, this one times t, this one times t minus 5. This one you have to times with t minus 5. Alright, Okay, now we will try to simplify after we make the denominator the same. So w we can cancel out, right? It becomes 1 over 6 equal to 2t minus 5 over t squared minus 5t. And then you just cross multiply. Okay, you cross multiply, you will get the answer t squared minus 5t equal to 2t times 6 will be 12t minus 30. And we need to simplify the quadratic equation in general form. So again, you will have to make sure it is simplest form before you factorize. Okay, so you have t minus 2, t minus 15 equal to 0. Hence your t should be equal to 15. And t equal to 2 we rejected because 2 minus 5 you will get a negative, isn't it? So it's not logic for you to have t which is equal to 2. So logically t should be 15. So we will actually take the t 15 for b. Okay, if b work alone. And then for a it will be 15 minus 5 which is 10. Right, so this is how you solve it. Maybe you got other solution, you can use your own method to do, no problem. So basically when you solve, you will come back to quadratic equation and then you have to factorize, right? Okay, now this is the last question that I would like to share with you. You have one number. Okay, this number is one more than another number. So the number was not given, so you have to use unknown. And the sum of their square is 113. So you must know how to use unknown. Let's say the number is another number. Okay, so you can use another number as x. So it should be one number is more than another number. So you can use x for that number, and the other number you use one more. So you have to plus 1. Okay, understand? So that means you must know how to convert the sentence or the wording into the mathematical symbol. Okay, so you must understand the question in short. Okay, and the sum of their square. Sum of their square means their square. That means you square it and you sum. Okay, it's not you sum up everything and then you square. It's the square, sum of their square of each number. That means x plus 1 square plus the x square equal to 113. Okay, make sure you really understand the question. So for hot, the language is very important. Understanding is very important before you can do. Okay, so now you can expand. I think expansion, you all got no problem. Okay, so you x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus x squared equal to 113. And you simplify, you have like term x squared, you got 2, so become 2x squared plus 2x, then 1 minus 113, you get minus 112 equal to 0. Okay, remember, please simplify first before you can factorize. Okay, so now you need to divide by how many? You need to divide by 2 so that you get the quadratic equation in simplest form before you can plug into the calculator for the A, for the B, and for the C. So I divide by 2, I get x squared plus x minus 5, 6 equal to 0, right? So then now you can use a calculator. Okay, you can key in into your calculator. A is 1, B is 1, C is negative 56. You get the x is 7 and x is negative 8, right? Okay, so after that you have to simplify or solve let the factor equal to 0. X minus 7 equal to 0, x plus 8 equal to 0, and you have to solve your x, right? So the x is 7 and negative 8. That will be the answer for this question, for the hot question like this. So make sure you double check your answer, okay, before you proceed to the next question in exam. Careful is very important in mathematics. So this is actually the summary for just now the question. So you arrange in general form, you factorize, and the answer is correct, -8 and 7. So okay, so that's all for today's sharing. I really hope that my sharing do help you to gain more confidence in solving hard question. Till then, I shall see you in my next video teaching. Bye bye and have a nice day.